be at work. And there's a good reason for that. I had a very, very terrible day at work. I came home to get terribly, terribly drunk, and after I was sitting at my desk for about 10 minutes last night, I had someone who I hadn't heard from in 5 years, I think. 4 or 5 years. I met her on Tumblr when she was pregnant with her first child. And I didn't know what I was getting into, but I knew her throughout the entire time that I went back to school. And I was just shocked that she came back. She moved 500 miles away from where she was living last. She had a baby last year, and she described her life as pure chaos. And that was one thing, right? That was just one crazy thing that happened. Out of all of the years that I hadn't seen her, she just randomly shows up on my page again in an instant messenger form, and I didn't know what to do. Well, let's fast forward 9 years later, and I get another message from a person. Salon girl number 2, autistic baby. She messages me and she says to me, "You won't ever see me again because I got fired today." And I was like, oh my God, no, this isn't happening. You know, I can't lose every single person I've known for the past few years. And she's just really sad that they fired her. And I didn't know what to say to her. She was obviously very upset at being fired. Being fired is not something that she could afford to do or be done to her, since she only made $300 a week working at the salon. She's the poorest person that I know. And so I sat awake with her for hours, and then I passed out, and then I woke up again, and I was talking to her again, and like, she didn't know what to think. You know, she has a really hard life as it is. She didn't need to get fired. And I didn't know what to say to make her feel like, you know, it's going to be okay, because obviously tough times are ahead for her. I mean, all this girl's ever had in her entire life are just really, really hard times. And, you know, how do you sympathize with the person that's grown up dirt poor, with no family, very few friends, and her best friend's her dog? And I just didn't know what to say to her. And I just kind of sat there asking her if she was okay. And she could just tell me that physically she was fine. Emotionally and financially, she was ruined. And so I don't know. Yesterday was just so strange. I mean, you're being introduced to a person for the first time after 5 years. Her life is completely different. You know, and this is Kelly. You know, she's growing her own food on a farm. She's showing me her eggs from the chickens that she uses to grow eggs, or the chickens that she uses to lay eggs. And I'm just kind of like, this is so strange, because the last time that I knew her from, she was managing a Steak and Shake after getting out of prison. She'd been in prison for 2 years, and then she got out, and the only job she could get was working in fast food. So because of her record of her being in prison 2 or 3 times for various substances, you know, introducing me to her life with her new child, holding her new child while she's showing me around her farm, was strange, to say the very least. Like, you don't just meet someone again for the first time, and I was just taken aback. I mean, her life was completely different from the last time that I saw her, and I wasn't sure what to think about this life. I don't know. It was just a really odd thing to do. It's just walk through someone's backyard when the last time that you knew them, they had a very, very different life. And of course, there's going back to work right now. I mean, who knows what's going to happen to me today with all the chaos that's around me. I don't know. Yesterday was, it was noon, and I had already had 40 phone calls at noon. And I don't work in a call center, but I'd had 40 phone calls were already listed on my phone's list. And I was like, how does someone have to do this much work and still be dirt poor? Like, I don't know. Yesterday was a day that I wish I could forget, honestly. With Kelly coming back, and Salon Girl number 2, and then having, my other girl bail on me to go up and hang out with their friends. Like, yesterday was just one of those days that you just can't believe so many different things happened to you. Like, yesterday was more social than probably the past 20 years of my entire life, including a couple of the ladies that the cougars that I talked to at work that just randomly came back into my life. Like, I couldn't believe that they went looking for me, right? So I hadn't talked to a couple of them in several months, and here I am talking to them yet again. Anyhow, I'm at work right now, guys. I gotta go. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will try to talk to you guys later.